Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hope all of you having a great week. Hope all of you having a great day. If not, hope this video can make it a little bit better. And man, oh man, it is time for the week 3 preview. Clap it up, everybody, clap it up. We don't have just some. We have a lot of games to look forward to. We got Georgia and Tennessee. We already did a separate preview for that. So if you're looking for that, go look on the channel. It is elsewhere. We got Colorado, Houston. We got Clemson. I think this is an interesting one at 11 a.m. versus the Yellow Jackets. By the way, why is Georgia Tech not ranked? I think they're a top 25 team. We got Alabama versus Wisconsin. I already did that preview. We got, and we may talk about this a little bit, I don't know. We'll get to it when we get to it. Florida and LSU. Last week, this game was going to be hype. Now it's like, big dud. Nobody cares. Florida, they're about to fire their head coach. It is a matter of when, not if. We got A&M and Notre Dame. We got Vandy, the Commodores. Some may argue and say they should be ranked. Diego Pavia. Who's going to play better, him or Sellers? I don't know. I wouldn't be so quick just saying Sellers. Pavia is like the seasoned vet at this point. He's been balling out in college football for at least 7 years, dating back to the New Mexico State days. We got Ole Miss, the Lane Train versus Arkansas. And then arguably the game that I'd say is captivating college football the most. We got USF, the Bulls. Who would have thought? Who would have thought they have made it to this point versus the U? Also, I don't want to say like it's a big shocker that Miami's doing good this year, but it is shocking that they're already inside the top 5. I probably missed a couple of games. We may talk about some more. This graphic I am showing you is from On3. You know who On3 is. Big sports media company on Twitter and just in social media in general, so shout out to them. I'm not going to waste any time. This could be a lengthy video. I'm going to try my best to make it short, simple, and sweet, but at the same time, give these games the respect they deserve and talk about them as much as they should be talked about. You know how we do things around here, partner. If not, I will enlighten you. We start out with our 11 a.m. games first and work our way down. Just pulled it up. Clemson is a 3.5-point favorite against Georgia Tech. They've had a really bad start to the season. By they, I'm talking about Clemson. You lost the opener against LSU. Didn't really look good in that one. I'm now starting to question whether LSU's as great as I thought they were. We'll get to them in just a second. You then lay a stinker at home versus Troy. You win the game. I have a golden rule. You never apologize for the win. I don't care who you're playing, but it's not something that has me feeling good about this team heading into week 3 against a really solid Georgia Tech team led by Brent Key. Love me some Brent Key. Haynes King is banged up, but it seems like he's been banged up his entire career. Even if he's at 50%, he's going to be ready to go. Is he going to be an effective rusher? I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see, but that's why I like Georgia Tech. It's why I picked him to beat Colorado at Colorado, because of the rushing attack. If you know anything about Georgia Tech, you know they're not going to throw the ball for 350 yards. If they do, it was either A, a fluke, or B, the defense must have been the worst in the nation. Haynes King is a running quarterback that occasionally can make some nice throws. That's all he is. Who's got the better quarterback in this matchup? Ha! LOL. Haynes King, there's no doubt about it in my mind. I've said it for years. I will continue to say it. One day y'all will believe me, or you're going to resonate with me. Cade Klubnik is the most overrated quarterback in all of college football. I don't understand the hype. He hasn't done anything. Sure, he looks good against the cupcakes, against the sorry and suggy teams in the ACC, but when you got to play a big boy, he does nothing. He's not that good. He's okay, but that's about it. And if you want to attribute that to Dabo is a dinosaur, and that is my name for him, Dabo the dinosaur, I'm fine by that. I think a large reason for his lack of success, per se, is because of the offensive coordinator and Dabo Swinney. They don't just put Klubnik, they don't put their entire offense in a great position to succeed. Clemson is solely a defensive football team. If they could get some help on the offensive side of the ball, who knows how good they could be, but that's not going to happen because Dabo is a dinosaur. He had a nice little run, but his dilemma is he has failed to adapt. And if you don't adapt, not just in college football, but in the business world and life in general, you're going to get crushed. You're going to get left behind. Here's what makes this game interesting. Who has more talent? Duh, Clemson. If both teams play their A-plus game, Clemson is going to win. While I would be scared if I was a Clemson fan, go turn on the tape from last year. If Georgia Tech could run all over Georgia, big and bad Georgia, what do you think they're going to do against you? People don't understand. It is so hard to stop the quarterback run. We saw it with John Mateer at Oklahoma versus Michigan and Jalen Milroe with Alabama last year because you have an extra blocker on the play. I think this is going to be a fairly low-scoring game. I don't think anybody's going to get into the 30s. There's no way. With Georgia Tech, they're just going to limit the possessions. Although I'm not high on this Clemson team, I think their defense is so good, it's going to help them out tremendously in this game. I hate to start saying this early on because they can still lose one more and potentially make the playoff, but they're already in must-win territory. I think that's going to motivate them as well. I want to pick Georgia Tech in this game. I really do, but my gut is telling me Clemson, and you always got to go with your gut. Give me the Tigers in this one. I'll even give you a score. We'll say Clemson 28, Georgia, or not Georgia. What am I talking about? Georgia Tech, my apologies. The Yellow Jackets 21. Oh, yeah, I kind of skipped over this one. The Friday night one, Colorado versus Houston. I'm not going to talk about it too much just because I don't think too many people care about it. I'll take Houston in that one. I don't trust Colorado. They got way too many quarterback problems and issues going on. The defense isn't good. It doesn't make sense to pick them. Give me Houston. Scrolling on down here to our 2:30 games, Georgia and Tennessee. We already did a preview video for that. Let's get into, I guess, our 3:30 games, South Florida versus Miami. Well, what do we have here? I think it's more than safe to say nobody saw this coming. Nobody thought South Florida was going to be 2-0 heading into a Miami game. I'm going to remind some of y'all, they haven't started out their year with some cupcakes. They've beat not one but two top 25 teams. If they win this one, I think they'll be the first team in college football history to start the season 3-0 against 3 top 25 schools. Super impressive. Also, shout out to South Florida for not scheduling cupcakes and going at the big boys early on. I respect that. Got it pulled up right here. Miami is a 17.5-point favorite. I'm trying to think about it. Give me a second. Yeah, I would say that's about right if you really think about it. I don't got a problem with that. Obviously, we know who the better team is in this game. I'm not going to beat around the bush. It's Miami. If they play the way they should, they're going to win. But let's talk about the keys for South Florida and the keys for Miami. What do these teams need to focus on? I talked about them in the preview last week. I tried to warn Florida Gators fans, and guess what I'm going to do this week? I'm going to try to warn Miami fans before the game even starts. Byron Brown. Learn the name. If you don't know his name already, you're going to learn it by the end of the night. I call him Mini Cam Newton. Byron Brown. The guy's an absolute stud. He's a freak of an athlete, and he can single-handedly change and win this game for USF. And let me throw that out there right now. Yes, I think USF can win if some things go their way. He's a better passer than what I think people give him credit for, but where he is going to hurt you is on 2nd and 10, 3rd and 12, the non-designed quarterback runs. When the play breaks down, that is when he terrorizes defenses. Here's what's scary about him. He does not like to slide. He's going to try to run over linebackers, which he has already done. I saw him do it against Boise State. And also, he is fast enough where he can outrun a quarterback spy. I know a lot of you watching this video haven't seen a ton of film on him, and that's understandable. Here's my proposal to you. Either type in his highlights on YouTube or type in Cam Newton highlights. You're going to see the similarities. Ironically enough, Cam Newton carried we'll call him a slightly above Auburn football team to a national championship and undefeated record. Byron Brown, 2-0. This USF team, let's not overcomplicate it. They're not great. They're not going to win a college football championship. However, Byron Brown, if you got to ask me, he takes them to that next level. Is his supporting cast as great as Miami's? No, not even close. But he makes up for it. I don't think you're going to completely shut down his legs. So I'm going to tell you what one of my old coaches used to tell me growing up in basketball. Anytime we played a guy who was averaging a lot of points. Let's try to contain him. You're not going to stop him entirely, but contain him. I would say the magic number is about 75. You hold him to under 75 rushing yards, you're going to win. If he gets over that, maybe a fascinating game at the end. Let's talk about the other quarterback, Timmy, a.k.a. Carson Beck. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the nation. Even though I love me some Byron Brown, Beck is the best quarterback in this game as well. Miami has better running back play, better wide receiver play. I love me some Malachi Toney. They're just overall, you get the point, a better football team from top to bottom. Who's got a better head coach, though? I don't know. Old Golish. It's really impressive to see him do a lot with a little. I'll leave that up to you guys in the comment section to debate. I am going to go with Miami in this game. I'm not going to hold you any longer. I love their defense. It is vastly improved from last year, and I think their offense hasn't skipped a beat. South Florida really struggled against Florida's defense last week. I think it's going to be a similar story, but here's what's going to be different. Miami's offense is 10 times better than Florida's. That's going to be a difference in this game. South Florida, I don't think they can hang with Miami. They're going to run away with it. Give me the U in that one. Give me the U. Heading along to our night games, I'm going to talk about this for approximately 4 seconds. Ole Miss, a lane train, Arkansas. I don't take Arkansas serious. They're just not on the level of Ole Miss. I'll take the lane train in that one. I don't think it's going to be that close. At 6:30, we got what was potentially going to be the college game day game of the week. Not after what happened against USF. We got the Florida Gators, Billy Napier, versus Brian Kelly and the LSU Tigers. Go Tigers. Shout out to Ed Ogeron. LSU is a measly, kind of shocked to see this, 7.5-point favorite. What? I'm not saying it should be 20. I thought it was going to be more so of like 10 and a half, 11, 12, something like that. But no, only a little more than a touchdown. Disagree with that. I'm not a betting man, but if I were, I'd be telling y'all to eat up that LSU 7.5. Here's the thing, right? In the Florida State-Alabama preview, I asked you guys a question, or I proposed a question. Can Florida State beat Alabama? Because everybody was trying to sit up here and say that they don't even have a chance. Alabama's going to run them out of the stadium. My answer to that question was yes. I thought Florida State could beat Bama, and they did. Although I didn't pick them in the game, I thought there was a chance. In this one, I'm going to ask the same question. Can Florida beat LSU? I don't have to think about this longer than 10 seconds. No. It is as simple as that. I wouldn't pick Florida in this game. I'm not going to, and I don't even think they have a chance. Here's my reasoning for that, because I know you were curious. Matt, why are you saying that, man? Florida ain't that bad of a team. And you're right. My dilemma with them is they have already given up on Billy Napier. When the players give up, you don't have a shot. And I am most certainly not going to pick them in a game. Look at the body language. I went back and watched the film. When you got guys that are undisciplined spitting on other players, lollygagging around, they have no respect for the head coach. Come on, man. What are we talking about? They've given up. I'm not going to talk about this game longer than what I have right now. I got the LSU Tigers. The big question is how good is LSU going to look? Can they take care of business? And how many points are they going to win by? I like DJ Lagway. I think he's in a terrible situation. He needs to enter the portal because Florida's a hot mess. But I don't like him more than Garrett Nussmeier. Garrett Nussmeier, one of the best quarterbacks in the nation. The LSU defense is ferocious, to say the least. I think they are the best defense in the nation. It's either them or Ohio State. It's just not looking good for Florida. This could get ugly. Give me the Tigers in that one. Going on down here to a top 16 matchup. We got an SEC opponent against what do we call them? Are they independent? Is that the right wordage? I guess. Sorry, sucky, and overrated Notre Dame. Let's sarcastic clap for Notre Dame. 0-1, but they're in the top 10. That's Notre Dame for you. Never do anything. They haven't won anything. When's the last time they won a championship? I couldn't tell you. How long has it been? Has it been 40 or 50 years? Some odd reason to start out the year, every single season, they're in the top 10. It's one of my biggest pet peeves, but we all know the AP voters are nerds. We saw it where that girl, she got exposed. These people don't know what they're talking about. You know who does know what he's talking about? Your boy MBG. Sort of. At least I watch the games right, and I give you my reasons, and I explain why I don't have Notre Dame ever ranked inside my top 10 because they're overrated. They can't win big games. Here's my new favorite one. But, Mr. Matt, Notre Dame, they won 3 games in the playoff. They made it to the national championship. Oh, that's cool. I'm going to give you a quote and phrase. It's from Ricky Bobby. Yeah, from Talladega Nights. If you know, you know. If you ain't first, you last. You didn't win it. Sure, you had some nice wins on the route to the championship, but you didn't win the championship. The season is a waste. I don't hate Notre Dame. I just call things for how I see it. Most overrated program in the history of college football. I'm not talking about this year. I'm talking about historically. They have done nothing. They have nothing to prove with it. Y'all think I hate Ohio State? Hey, I at least respect them guys. Every so often, they win a championship. So I don't mind when a team like Little Bro State gets some respect because they've earned it. Notre Dame, they haven't earned anything. Now, with all that bad stuff being said about the Irish, that isn't going to persuade my thoughts on this game or whatsoever because, believe it or not, I don't hate them. As where it stands, they are a 6.5-point favorite. I would say that's about right. A&M is an interesting team and an interesting program. So I don't know how to feel about them. I don't even know what the expectations are for these guys. I don't think their fans are expecting a championship this year, but at the same time, they at least want to see them maybe potentially compete for a playoff spot. I don't know. Is this team supposed to win 8 games or are they supposed to win 10 games? I'm going to say the same thing. I don't know. Here's what I do know. I am not high on Marcel Reed. I don't trust Mike Elko. I don't think their offense is that good. I also don't think their defense is that good. So overall, they're not really that good of a football team. There's nothing about Texas A&M that I like. I hate to say that, but it's the cold, harsh truth. With Notre Dame, I at least like things. I like their quarterback, C.J. Carr. I think he's got a lot of potential, especially with him being, I believe he is a redshirt freshman. The offense, not bad. They got to work on some things. Defense, as good as ever. To hold that prolific Miami offense to 27 points, that is outstanding. That may be the lowest amount of points Miami scores in a game this season. To be 100% honest with you, I think Notre Dame looks as good as they did last year. And that team made it to the championship. Am I sold on Marcus Freeman? No. There's something off about him. I am going to take Notre Dame in this one easily for this reason alone. Notre Dame's not a great team, but here's the kicker with that. Texas A&M isn't even a good one. Give me the Irish. Going on down here at 6:45 p.m. Central Time, we got Vanderbilt. They caused me a lot of pain last year. If you know, you know. Versus South Kakalaki. Two of the better quarterbacks in not just SEC, but the nation going at it. Diego Pavia. I think you could argue and say he's better than Lenore Sellers, and I just kind of spoiled that. Lenore Sellers is the quarterback for the opposing team. I assume Carolina is, yep, they are favored by 3.5 points. I would say I agree with that. I'm extremely high on Kakalaki. I got him inside my top 10. I love their edge rushers. I love their defense. I like Lenore Sellers. I want to see him get a little bit better before I say love. They did concern me a little bit last week. Didn't look all too great, but it doesn't matter. They're 2-0, and guess who's also 2-0? Vanderbilt. I'm going to throw this out there right now. I have questions about Sellers. I think he is good enough to take over and win a game, but I also believe he can make some terrible decisions and lose you a game. You know who I don't fear that about or with? Mr. Diego Pavia. Calling it right now. He is the best quarterback, or he will be the best quarterback in this game. He is what he is. He knows his play style, and he's not going to do something that he's not used to doing. Diego Pavia is Mr. Consistent. He's not an NFL quarterback. He's not an NFL prospect, but here's what he is. A great college football player. Yeah, that's right. You heard me correctly. I don't throw that word around lightly. Great. Every so often you see a quarterback like this where they're just going to have this stellar, star-studded college career, but they ain't even going to do nothing in the NFL. That's this guy right here. And it's so confusing for some people, but for me it's not. His game and his play style, it doesn't translate over. But it works great at Vanderbilt. Hard-nosed, physical guy. He looks small, but he is super strong. He's going to put his head in there, and he's going to go to work for his guys. Excellent scrambler. He's also one of the most underrated passers in the nation. He's got a nice play style. It's hard for defenses to stop, and I can see why. Vanderbilt runs that gimmicky offense where if everybody isn't locked in or honed in on their assignment, they're going to score 100 on you. Vandy's also playing with house money. I think that matters. They know they're not supposed to win this game. The Vanderbilt fans, although there's not many, they're not expecting their team to win this game. The players have zero pressure on them. You know who has all the pressure in the world on them? Sal Kakalaki, Shane Beamer, Lenore Sellers. They're supposed to make the playoff this year. There's people telling Sellers he's supposed to be a Heisman Trophy frontrunner. I think they're going to feel that pressure. And Vanderbilt, they're going to walk in there all cool with their swagger and moxie. They're going to pick up from their quarterback, Diego Pavia, and they're going to pull off the upset. That's right, you heard me correctly. I got Vandy winning this one. They're going to shock the nation, and they'll be ranked inside the top 25 this time next week. Pavia is too much. Those edge rushers, they're going to get fooled on the run-pass option, and Pavia is going to light them up. I'll say the Commodores 31, Kakalaki 28. That's it for the Week 2 preview. I talked about all the games I feel like or think that people want to see talked about. I'm curious. Let me know your thoughts on this down below. But